4, 3, 2, 1.
Studio Classroom is recording.
Please stand by.
Studio Classroom is on the air.
Welcome, friends, to Studio Classroom on the air. Your English will improve today. My name is Carolyn. We all know that tests are a part of life. Whether you are taking a test in school or you are facing a challenge at work, everyone has to deal with tests. Today, we're going to look at some helpful tips for taking tests. That's right, our lesson today is test-taking tips. What do you do to prepare yourself for a test? Study your class notes? Make flashcards? Practice quiz questions with a friend? While those are all good ways to study, our lesson has some different advice. Let's find out what it is.
Test-taking tips. How to handle your next big test. Passing tests is a huge part of succeeding at school. Clearly, if you want to do well on a test, you need to prepare by learning the material. But other actions can help make test-taking easier. Just breathe. Even the best prepared student sometimes gets nervous before a test. Nervous feelings can cause people to forget facts that they know. So one important test-taking tip is to try to relax.
Hi everyone, welcome to Language Lab. 这篇文章的第一个重点，我们看 nervous 这个形容词。nerve 这个字根是指神经，所以 nervous 是指神经质的、担忧的或者是紧张不安的。例如 Emma is nervous about her performance in the job interview. Emma 对于自己在工作面试的表现感到很担心。或者是 baby birds are very sensitive and nervous, so it's better if they are taken care by the same people. 幼鸟很敏感又神经质，最好是同样的人来照顾它们。它的名词是字尾加上 ness 变成 nervousness。例如 Ryan's nervousness and shyness around girls is well known. Ryan 跟女生在一起就会紧张跟害羞，是众所皆知的事。接下来我们看的是 relax 这个动词 re 这个字首在这里有向后的意思。lax 这个字根是指松弛的，所以 relax 就是指放松。例如 A hot bath and a glass of warm milk always help me relax. 洗个热水澡跟喝杯温牛奶总是能够帮助我放松。或者是 Don't forget to relax your muscles after working out. 做完健身后不要忘记要放松肌肉。它的名词是字尾加上 ation 变成 relaxation。例如 Bradley's favorite relaxation is playing online games. Bradley 最喜欢的消遣活动就是玩线上游戏。
Thank you so much, Michelle. Well, today we're looking at a difficult topic, maybe not so pleasant for those of you who are in school, test-taking tips. That's some good alliteration there with the T-T-T sound, test-taking tips. And Gabe, are you taking a test?
Well, I'm getting ready to take a test. You see, I'm starting to get ready to use this pen. I haven't used a pen this size in a long time, so I need to be ready.
Well, you can practice using your pen as we go through today's lesson.
Yes.
And we read right here that how to handle your next big test. So this is what you can do to handle your next big test, and that's a great word to know. How to handle something just means how to manage something or how to take care of a problem.
That's right. So, how do you handle stress? For example, that's a question that you could ask somebody. How do you handle stress anyway? Perhaps you could say, I'm really stressed out. I can't handle all the stress. But we use this word to talk about other things. Maybe you just have a lot of responsibilities. How do you handle those responsibilities? Maybe you have 3 kids at home and both you and your spouse are working full-time. How do you handle those full-time jobs and taking care of the kids?
That is an excellent question. That is a lot to handle. And today we're looking at how to handle your next big test. And I like the way that the word big is used here. Here, it doesn't mean that your test is really long or that the paper is really big or that it's large like this pen. It means that it's important.
That's right. So it's a big test. It's an important test. So the final examinations at the end of the year are a very big test, right? Now you can use this word to talk about other important things. I often hear it used when people talk about an important day. Your big day is coming up. Perhaps it's graduation, or perhaps you're getting married. That is your big day.
Oh, that is a big day. Big celebrations happen then. So we see that this is going to give us some good tips on how to handle or how to take care of your next important test. And we read right here that passing tests is a huge part of succeeding at school. And that's true. Everyone in school needs to take tests.
Now, I like, this is a very honest sentence. Okay, of course, if you want to succeed at school, passing tests is an important part of that. But I just want to remind everybody, tests are not the most important thing in life. Education is important, but there's much more to education than just school. Keep that in mind.
That is true. People can learn in different ways, and tests don't always give us clear results on different learning styles. But we read here that clearly, if you want to do well on a test, you need to prepare by learning the material. And I like the word at the beginning of this sentence, clearly. Here it just means obviously. It can be seen very easily.
That's right. I like that you mentioned the word obviously, because usually this word can be replaced with the word obviously. Obviously, if you want to do well on a test, you need to prepare by learning the material. Everybody knows that. It's obvious, right? You know, after the test and after your teacher looks at your score, she could say, you clearly didn't study for the test. Your score is terrible.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, but perhaps it is clear that you were not prepared, but actions other than preparing by learning the material can help make test taking easier. And we see our first section here just says, just breathe.
You know, we all need to just stop and breathe every once in a while. We read here, even the best prepared student sometimes gets nervous before a test. You just saw a picture of someone who is very anxious, very nervous because she's about to take a test. Nervous feelings can cause people to forget facts that they know. So one important test-taking tip is to try to relax. Just relax.
That is easier said than done.
Yeah.
Now, there's an interesting kind of test called the sniff test that we can learn about from our friends in the Info Cloud.
I smelled an info cloud coming.
Yeah, you can smell it?
Hello friends, welcome to InfoCloud. You know, Joe, recently my mom received a phone call from a man who claimed to be me. She said to my mom in a very loud, dramatic tone, "Mom, help me, somebody is beating me up!"
Oh my! What did she do then?
She hung up right away. Although she was a little nervous, that phone call didn't pass the smell test for her. She knew it wasn't me. It was a scam call.
Wow, good for her. Rex just mentioned a very interesting expression, pass the smell test, which means to be trustworthy. If something passes the smell test, that means it can be trusted.
If it can't be trusted, then you can say something failed the smell test.
There is another similar expression that has a slightly different meaning, the sniff test. When something passes the sniff test, it means it is workable. It can be done.
For example, if I say, his proposal for the new idea is extremely creative and exciting. However, it didn't pass the sniff test. That means I don't think it's a good idea.
The sniff test can also refer to detecting an odor or strong smell. You need to wash your shirt. It doesn't pass the sniff test.
今天分享的2个用语都跟嗅觉有关。第一个是 smell test。smell 是用鼻子去闻的意思 ，test 就是测验。但是 smell test 却跟嗅觉没有直接的关系，它的意思是直觉测验。当你觉得一件事情相当可疑，不值得信任，你可以说 It didn't pass the smell test for me。对我来说，那件事情不值得信任，我嗅出了一点问题。Smell test 是用在评估一件事情是否在道德上有问题，但是另外一个类似用语 sniff test 却比较中性，只会用在评估一件事情是否行得通，像是一件企划案或是一些创意等等。His idea was exciting, but it didn't pass the sniff test for the boss. 他的创意令人振奋，但是老板直觉上认为行不通。Sniff test 也可以指用嗅觉去察觉一样东西有没有怪味道。Your shirt doesn't pass the sniff test. Please wash it. 意思就是你的衬衫没有通过嗅觉测验，有点味道，请你洗一洗。这就是今天的 InfoCloud， 我们下次云端见。
Studio Classroom is on the air.
Welcome back, friends. Taking a test can be very stressful. Many people feel nervous before a big test. So, what can we do? Well, we can breathe. Trying to relax is really important when we're taking a test, but how can we relax? An excellent question, and we're going to go over a few ways you can relax before a test in the next part of our lesson.
Test-taking tips. Breathing deeply is helpful for this. So is moving your body slightly, such as by rolling your shoulders around. Try to arrive for a test a few minutes early so you can relax before it starts. My father once gave me a helpful piece of advice. He said that if your stomach feels queasy, that's not actually bad. That's the result of your body producing adrenaline, which gives you energy to succeed. It might help to tell yourself that you're excited instead of nervous. That will help you think more positively, relax, and do better.
OK， 继续我们看 queasy 这个形容词 ，queasy 是指恶心、想吐的，或者是反胃的。注意 s 在这里是发 z 的音，念成 queasy。例如 ，Now that she's pregnant, Samantha feels queasy every time she smells French fries。怀孕后 ，Samantha 现在每次闻到薯条都会觉得想吐。或者是 Many passengers started to feel queasy after the boat sailed into the open water。船行驶到外海后，许多乘客都开始觉得想吐。Queasy 也指忧虑不安的，例如 Aiden is feeling a little queasy about his driving test. Aiden 对于要考驾照感到有些焦虑。最后我们看的是 adrenaline 这个不可数名词。Adrenaline 是指肾上腺素，注意它的重音是在第2音节念成 adrenaline。也有人拼成字尾没有 e 的拼法，例如 Alex felt a rush of adrenaline when he was waiting at the starting line. Alex 在起跑线等候时感到一阵肾上腺素涌上来。或者是 when the interviewer came into the room, adrenaline flooded through me and my heart started to race. 当面试官进来的时候，我整个肾上腺素泛滥，心脏开始狂跳。And now let's get back to our teachers.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Now, we just mentioned that one important thing that you can do before taking a test is try to relax. And Gabe, it looks like you're trying to relax by breathing deeply.
Well, that's very important, Carolyn. Yes, breathe. Breathe in, breathe out, and breathe deeply, okay? Breathing deeply is helpful for this. So is moving your body slightly, such as by rolling your shoulders around.
That's an interesting way to describe that motion. Rolling your shoulders. So let's look at that. It just means to move your shoulders either forward or backward, but in a rolling motion.
That's right. So we can roll our shoulders forward like this. You give it a try. And now we roll your shoulders back. And if you've ever been part of an exercise class or getting ready to do something big, sometimes someone might lead a warm-up and they might have everybody rolling their shoulders at some point during the warm-up. Now there's a related word, friends. It's the word shrug. Okay, if you don't know something, you can signify that by shrugging your shoulders. That means you just move your shoulders up and down. S-H-R-U-G. Carolyn, do you ever shrug your shoulders?
Yeah, sometimes.
Nice.
But here we are rolling our shoulders to help us relax because that movement can relieve some of the tension or tightness in your muscles and help you to prepare for a test. So another tip we read here is to try to arrive a few minutes early so you can relax before it starts. If you're running late, you're going to be nervous and anxious and upset and in a hurry. But if you get there early, you can breathe and relax before the test begins.
That's great. Carolyn, didn't you used to have a saying that you really like? I think you taught it to me. If you're 5 minutes early, you're actually 10 minutes late.
That's right. I do like that expression. If you're 5 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late, which means you should arrive someplace 15 minutes early.
And that's a great idea if you can to do before a test, right? Then you can have time to breathe in, breathe out, roll your shoulders around, try to relax a little bit, clear your mind of other things so that you can be ready to take that test and focus.
That's right. And our author provides us with another tip that she got from her father. We read that, "My father once gave me a helpful piece of advice." Now, before we find out what that advice is, let's look at this phrasing here. We see that there is a piece of advice. So here we have a measure word for advice. Another way you might say this is a bit of advice or some advice. So there are different words you can use with this word advice.
That's right. I was thinking about that because you could rephrase this sentence, "My father once gave me some advice." But if it's a specific thing that he said, then you could call it a piece of advice. All right? Now it's different from the word suggestion. We wouldn't say he gave me a piece of suggestion. No, we would say he gave me a suggestion. But here we see that you can give someone a piece of advice. What was that piece of advice?
Well, he said that if your stomach feels queasy, so if your stomach feels upset, that's not actually bad. Why not, Gabe?
Yeah, this is a good point because a lot of people think that's a bad thing if your stomach feels upset. It's not bad. That's the result of your body producing adrenaline, which gives you energy to succeed. And adrenaline is very useful, not just when taking a test, but in many situations.
Right. And when you have this feeling, it might help to tell yourself that you are excited instead of nervous.
So are you saying that we should psych ourselves up before we take a test?
Ooh, that's a really great phrase, Gabe. To psych yourself up means to make yourself feel excited, even if maybe you weren't feeling excited before. You kind of force yourself to be happy or excited.
That's right. You know, my friends were all jumping off of a very high rock into some water below. I didn't want to do it. I had to psych myself up so that I would be okay jumping from that great height. Think of another way to use that phrase, friends.
Well, instead of feeling nervous, you can psych yourself up, and that will help you think more positively and help you relax. And Gabe, something that would help me relax right now is to go to the SC Challenge.
Friends, for today's SC Challenge, we have back in the studio, well, let's have them introduce themselves.
My name is David. Pleasure to be back.
And I'm Manya. It's good to be here.
Okay, David and Manya, last time you both did a great job. I believe David won. We'll see who wins today's challenge. Friends, I know you're going to try your best as well. Here is number 1 about test-taking tips. According to the lesson, what is the most obvious way to prepare for a test? A, learn the material. B, exercise regularly. C, cheat. Or D, eat junk food. Do we have a Manya?
D, eat junk food.
Eating junk food is the most obvious way to prepare. Manya, is that how you prepare for a test?
Well, I certainly feel good.
Yeah, it feels great after you have some nice fast food. That's not the correct answer. Dave, would you like to give it a try?
I'll give it a try. I was going to say eat some junk food, but if it's not that, then maybe prepare for the material?
Yeah, or learn the material.
Learn the material.
That is A, learn the material is correct. Yeah. Yes, that is the most obvious way.
You gave a good answer.
Eating junk food is the less obvious way. Okay, here's number 2. According to the lesson, what could happen to even well-prepared students before a test? A, they could get hungry. B, they could get bored. C, they could get nervous. Or D, they could get sick. Yes, Manya?
C, they could get nervous.
Manya, have you ever gotten nervous before a test? Really?
Oh, yeah, all the time. That's why I eat junk food.
That's why you eat junk food? Because you get nervous? Well, Manya, you are correct. Yes. People could still get nervous even if they are well prepared. That is C, the correct answer. Number 3, fill in the blank. Before a test, tell yourself that you are blank, not nervous. Okay. A, tell yourself that you are eager. B, tell yourself that you are huge. C, tell yourself that you are forgetful. Or D, tell yourself that you are handsome. Yes, David?
Before a test, I always tell myself that I am handsome.
David, that is a great thing to do, but that is incorrect. Manya, would you like to have a go?
I think it's A, eager.
Okay, A, eager. Yes, tell yourself that you are eager. The lesson uses the word excited, but A is the correct answer. David, you did a great job today. But Manya is the winner! Yay! All right, friends, that's all the time we have for today's SC Challenge.
Tests can make anyone feel nervous, but don't worry, you can just relax. Remember our tips from today to breathe deeply, roll your shoulders, and arrive early. And we have more tips for you tomorrow right here on Studio Classroom.
A lifetime.